Hello everyone and welcome to the Chef's Table series. My name is Carol O'Connor, co-host of this instructional cooking show. We are on the road again. We are in Dedham. We are filming this cooking show at the Motherbrook Arts and Community Center on High Street. And today we have an old friend, Vinny Marino, chef and owner of the Brick House Cafe. He and my co-host Joe Murphy will be making this amazing dish called shrimp Siciliano. It is filled with fresh pasta, mushrooms, shrimp, broccoli, and other herbs and spices. So let's bring Vinny and Joe over to learn how to make this delicious dish.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Chef's Table series, which is produced through the Chef's Table Foundation. And tonight, we're very pleased to have an old friend. As a matter of fact, a videographer, film editor says that in all the shows we've done, Vinny is in the top 2. And I said that's because he gives me the business and puts me down. But in any event, that's okay. Thanks, Chef, for coming tonight. We're very happy to have you here.
Mr. Needy, it's a pleasure.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Right out of the gate. Okay.
The only reason I'm here is because his daughter works for me. And she always told me if I don't come and help her daddy out, bye-bye. So I'm here because of Lisa.
Well, that's
not
good.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. This show is designed to be instructional. So what we always start off with is the term mise en place. Mise en place is a French term, but you will find this in every professional commercial kitchen. And it just simply means everything in its place. Now, if you notice, Chef has all his ingredients ready to go. They're all scaled out, okay, which may not be always scaled to what he needs, but because we're going to make one dish that there's enough here for a plated meal. So what do we have here, Chef? This looks like, is this pimento?
Pimentos.
Pimentos. Right. And then
extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Linguine.
Linguine.
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Shrimp.
And
a Bianco sauce that is
a Bianco.
Is clam broth and garlic and oil. Rather than do the onions here, not having worked with electrical stuff,
right.
Could get a little hairy.
Yeah.
So I did it all in there and I blended it.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
And what Chef is telling you right now is on your sauce, you don't have to make it when you're actually cooking it. You could probably be fine in the refrigerator a couple of days.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You could keep it there a week.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then one of the other things, as he said, the garlic is already in the sauce. Otherwise, you'd see that as part of your mise en place. And many of you in our audience tonight have been to Vinny's restaurant. We all love it. And he has some great dishes. And I believe you create all the dishes, don't you?
Most of them, right.
Yeah.
You know, I have a thing is that if I can't cook it, it's not coming out of my kitchen. And the reason being, you know, once it comes out and once people like it, I don't want no secrets, you know. And I had one of the kids he come up with some sauce for steak tips. So I says, Jose, how do you make that? I said, it's pretty good. So he says, no, I'm not telling. I said, well, I tell you all my recipes. He said, no. I says, well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you $100. He says, no. I says, $500. No. $1,000. It's that good. I'm just busting his eggies. $100,000, Jose. No, I'm not giving no one up my recipe. Okay, fine. We're never using it again. Okay, I'll tell you. So yeah, it's a thing with me.
Yeah.
You know, I got to know how to make it.
Yeah. So most chefs will give their recipes out. You know, even though we're kidding about this.
Yeah.
You know, because...
Well, today, Joe, more so than
Yeah.
before, because they didn't.
Yeah.
Years ago, they did not do it at all. In fact, when I went to my very first restaurant, I used to own a nightclub called the Party Lounge in Rosendale, and it was a great place, and I had Fats Domino and Chubby Checker and all them people, not when they were famous, but maybe after or before. But I used to get on the Red Fez and eat all the time late at night.
Oh.
And then one of the waitresses, Dottie, said to me, Vinny, why don't you open a Middle Eastern restaurant? And I said, well, what would I serve? She said, oh, there's shish kebab and everything. I said, shish kebab? Is it goat? Is it cow? What is it? I don't even know what it is. I eat it, but I don't know what it is. She says, don't worry about it. I'll run the restaurant. I'll do this. I'll do that. And I said, you know what? After 8 years of having more fights than Madison Square Gardens, I would love to get out of the nightclub business.
Right.
So I did. I converted it, and I opened up a place called the Casa Beirut, and we did Middle Eastern food. And we were fairly successful.
Oh,
we
yeah.
did pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, they have called a mercy meal when people pass away. And so we had the mercy meals, and the guy comes up and he says, the food is great. He says, what's your name? I said, Vinny. He said, Vinny what? I said, Vinny Marino. He says, you're not Lebanese? I said, no. He says, oh, food was good anyhow.
Okay, Chef, why don't we get started?
Okay.
And we're going to make this dish.
We're going to start with the extra virgin olive oil.
Great.
Very good. As I said, I got to be very careful with this because I'm not used to working with electrical equipment, so I'm not sure of the temperatures.
Yeah, I want to say one thing about EVOO. If you're using it, and I use it all the time, I'll even fry with it, not deep fry, but I'll use it for doing cutlets and that type of thing. It has a very low smoke point so that it can burn very easily. But once you get to use it, to me, the flavor, it's just a great, oil.
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay.
The thing that you got to really be careful is almost every Italian dish starts with garlic and onion. And if the oil is too hot and you put the garlic in and it burns right away, you'll blow the dish.
Right.
So immediately you got to hit it with one or two things, either white wine or some chicken stock or any kind of stock. But you got to stop that.
Right.
And you know what? If you don't stop it immediately, you can't fix it. So you don't even try.
Right, yeah.
But with this here, I'm supposed to start with garlic and onion, but I didn't tonight because, like I said, not knowing how this is going to react, I would rather skip it, and I put it in my Bianco sauce. So I'm instead of going with my garlic and onion, which I would start right now, then I would hit with the white wine, reduce it. No, I'm going to go right with the shrimp.
With the shrimp.
I'm going to put the shrimp right in.
Right.
So
Yeah, if you're not used to cooking with garlic, Chef just gave you a great tip. Do not walk away from that pan once you throw the garlic in, because as soon as it goes beyond a golden color, if it burns, the whole dish is ruined. You have to start over again. Most things you can recover with, but not garlic.
Not the garlic.
Right.
And I would always suggest don't even try, because
Right.
you're going to just waste your time.
Right.
But actually, I'm more comfortable in the boxing ring than I am standing here cooking in front of people.
Really.
He would be a perfect opponent. He's blind. At my age, that's all I think I can go with.
That's it. Keep dumping on the co-host. My daughter will straighten you out tomorrow.
I know. I'll pay. I'm sorry, Lisa.
Okay. So
I told you
anyways,
vodka. This is water.
that's right. It is water.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to let you get too far out of control. Now,
All right.
in cooking, also remember, if you have multiple ingredients, just think through that recipe for a moment, because some things take a little bit longer than other things. So Chef started with the shrimp, all right? And you're going to get that to a pink,
I'm going to get it to be pink, yeah.
and then what, flip it over?
I'm going
or-
to flip it over.
Right.
And like I say, not knowing how this reacts to select, I just got it
Right.
on low. I'm going to have to, it's going to take a little longer than it would normally would with a gas, which I could adjust. But I can't see this, so I don't know.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
But, one of the other things is you don't have to overcook. A lot of people think, it's got to be really well done because it's not. But it doesn't have to be, because what you're going to do is you're going to flip this, and as you're cooking it, I'm adding my other stuff, it's still cooking.
Right.
So a lot of people, what the mistake they make is they cook the shrimp or any product
Right.
before they start this. You don't have to. You shouldn't do that. You should be adding this as it's all cooking and all your flavors blend in together,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
and you're a lot better off.
Now, Chef just gave you a great tip. You know, if you go to a great restaurant like the Brick House, you say, gee, I wish I could do that. Chef Vinny was just telling you, it's about building flavors, one on top of the other. And don't be afraid of a hot pan. I know Chef is being a little cautious tonight, but if you were in a professional kitchen, those pans are smoking for a number of reasons. Caramelization, which is flavor, but also they're trying to get your meal out in a timely manner.
Good point, Joe. In the Brick House, we got a very, very, very small kitchen, and we seat about 80 people. And some nights we'll do 5 turns, and
Wow.
it's really hectic with that small kitchen. Every one of our burners, 10 burners, has got a pan on it all the time, hot as anything. And as soon as they go to put their part, the oil will start right away. So it's boom, 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 boom. So you got to be like lightning with the
Right.
stock or,
Yeah.
or the wine to stop that.
Yeah.
Because like I say, everything is garlic and onion, just about everything, you know.
Right.
So he just turned this up for me, and so now it's got a nice bubbly.
Yeah,
So
just-
this is just olive oil.
Right.
And so you would normally be using garlic and oil, but I got it in there today. And a lot of guys throw butter in it. I prefer when I don't, but I'll tell you, butter never hurts.
But
It makes it better. It
well,
really
I'll
does.
tell you, butter
Yeah.
in a professional kitchen
Yeah.
is used when you finish your sauce, it gives it that nice shiny effect, as well as it does give you another level of flavor. But Vinny is very health conscious, so I'm guessing that's
Yeah.
why you don't like butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I used to do fast food, health food restaurants back in the 70s before it was in vogue, and so that's how I got it. I don't eat anything white, including Italian bread, all multi-grain bread, multi-grain pasta.
Now, Chef,
wheat
can I
pizza.
ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want, Joe.
Thank you. In your restaurant, on your menu, do you have healthy choices
I
on
do.
there? You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's great.
I even have a couple with the calories and all that other stuff.
Oh, good.
I think there's a haddock dish that's the most healthy one with the calories and everything on it. It's got a
Excellent.
little heart
Yeah,
beside it,
yeah.
you know.
You'll see a lot of restaurants now, they have healthy choices. And, you know, some people are wheat intolerant, obviously
Yeah.
peanut, nut intolerant.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised that more restaurants don't give
Right.
you more of them choices, you know. In fact, I went all the way to San Francisco to find a multi-grain bread that I thought was not good, great. And believe me, if you ever come there and you have the multi-grain bread, I'm sure you'll agree. It's that good. You
why
know?
didn't you take me?
No,
No.
I can't afford you. But the other thing that I checked out down there was sourdough. I could never find out why we couldn't make sourdough the way they do in San Francisco. And I researched it, I found out it was the atmosphere in San Francisco. I never knew that. So I had to make a connection in San Francisco, and I did. I ended up getting hold of a purveyor that got stuff from San Francisco. I connected with this bakery called La Brea, L-A space capital B-R-E-Y, La Brea, and I get my sourdough bread and my multi-grain bread there. Oh, actually, it's whole grain, you know.
Yeah,
I love
great.
it. I love it.
Great.
It's really good.
Great.
So right now, this is bubbling. The mushrooms are starting to caramelize.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if like I say, most guys would throw a pat of butter in that. You know,
Right,
but
right.
like I say, I'm a little reluctant to, but it wouldn't hurt. But we're gonna hit it with
already?
the Bianco sauce now.
Okay, great.
So, like I say, I've done all this. You guys would not be doing this. You'd probably be doing it one by one with the
Okay.
with the Bianco sauce, and which is basically clam juice, garlic, onion, all
Do you do
pulsified.
white wine or?
White wine's in there too. White wine, clam broth.
Right.
Yeah.
But you cook off the wine first. So if you're a beginner home cook, just cook that alcohol off first. And you can tell by the smell once the alcohol leaves.
it'll go away immediately, you know.
Right.
In fact, if you put the wine in and it doesn't flame up, you should basically tip your pan, let it hit that and flame it, because you do want to get the alcohol out of there.
Right.
Because if you don't do that and the alcohol's in there and the wine, it's not going to taste right.
Right.
You know, it's gonna.
Yeah, so Chef just gave you a great tip. I would caution you on tipping that pan up. Just remember, you're going to get a blast of flame. So be sure that you have a great either tile or something on the wall so that flame isn't going to explode. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Well,
All right,
one of the
Chef.
good things about a dish like this here, this is called shrimp Siciliano. So what it is mushrooms, broccoli,
Right.
roasted red peppers, you know, and linguine.
Right.
Now, you can always change it up a little bit. You can throw chopped tomatoes in there. I mean, this is something I do all the time. Some nights I'll run a special and it'll be chicken and shrimp Siciliano. And the chicken, you can grill it, you can saute it, you can fry it with breading, so you have chicken and shrimp. Another night, you might want to throw some clams in there. All you got to do is take the clam, put it right in that sauce. Wait till the clam opens up, boom, serve it. Simple, very easy.
Right.
So you get shrimp and chicken and clams. I mean, you can make all kinds of combinations of this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
and
it's-
that's one thing, Chef, I like to talk about.
Yeah.
Remember, culinary arts, it is an art form. You know, everybody has a little bit different taste and a different palate. And if you know your family may like a hot type sauce, then you have free license. Use salt, don't use salt, add chicken, as Chef just told you. And one thing about Italian cooking, which is my favorite cuisine, is fresh products. Italians generally will use fresh. And they're simple ingredients, but they just bring out the most incredible flavors. So
Yeah.
thank you for your heritage.
Talking about, well, speaking of heritage, I'm up at the restaurant last Sunday, and Tom Menino's up there with 3 other guys, and he introduced me, and I said, this is Vinny Marino. So the guy says, hey, Vinny, he says, where's your family from in Italy? And I said, oh, they're from Sicily. And he says, oh, I thought you were Italian. I said, I thought so too. But apparently people think different. So I was just over Vincenzo's this afternoon, who was cooking up the rest of this stuff for us, and I was telling him, and he thought it was all right. I think Calabrese, you know. But I don't know. I guess Sicilians aren't Italians.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Now, what about the
We're gonna throw the
pimento?
pimentos. That's the last thing. This is all.
Okay,
This
great.
is very good.
Okay.
We're in good shape. You want to try and do this?
Yeah, sure.
We'll do it with that scoop you got.
Yeah, I can use this
Okay.
for now. Okay.
Yeah, right with this.
Yeah, sorry.
No?
That was fine.
Okay.
Either way, I'm a professional.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
And what did you need me here for? I could have been at work.
because you're a good chef,
Oh,
an
okay.
excellent top chef,
Yeah.
and we love you. That's
I'm
why.
not a chef, by the way. I'm a cook. I've had executive chefs that come into my restaurant, and it never worked out.
Yeah.
They want to change the meatballs. They want to change the marinara. I'm a simple guy that uses fresh ingredients.
Right.
Now I need that out, buddy.
Okay.
I don't know why
Well,
why you didn't just leave it alone.
Well, because I was going to say
You're a pain
something,
in the butt.
but you kept talking.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
in here.
just so you know, if you have a busy schedule during the week, there's nothing wrong with bringing this pasta, cooking it a couple of days in advance, and then bringing it just before al dente. And then what you can do is what Chef just did.
Just
He
shock
shock it, okay? And don't forget, at home, a good chef always finishes his pasta in the sauce, because that sauce is good and hot, and so that you don't wind up with a mushy pasta. Get it out when it's al dente or just before, and then finish it like Chef is doing in the sauce right now.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing is, when you're cooking in the restaurant, that water that we keep going and we keep,
Right.
you know, dipping in, it's starchier and starchier and starchier, and actually more and more flavorful. It really is. At the end of the night, it's better than the beginning of the night. You know?
Yeah. Now, one thing we generally talk about, and I've taken a little breather, but I'm going to mention it here again tonight. In a professional kitchen, you will not find table salt. They will either use kosher salt or sea salt. Reason being is kosher salt, sea salt is a much larger crystal. It's a lot easier to control your portion. I firmly believe even on the kosher salt, it has a much better flavor profile than your table salt. But also, by volume, not by weight, if you have a cup of kosher or sea salt next to a cup of table salt, your sodium content is reduced dramatically. Okay, so keep that in mind. And I go back again to what I just said about the flavor profile. I feel is much nicer with a good kosher or a sea salt. You don't need as much salt. You don't, if you're on a restricted diet with sodium, the larger crystal is a better way to go. All right, chef.
And as you know, you're not supposed to use grated cheese with any fish in an Italian restaurant.
Right.
No one listens to us. Everybody wants cheese.
Right. We had a couple of years ago the corporate chef from Sal's or Salvatore's restaurant chain on, and I said, "Chef, we're going to put cheese? Are you crazy? You never put cheese on fish." Okay. We had the corporate chef from the Strager group, and he is from Sicily as well. Fabulous chef. And just trying to make a point and tease him, I said, "Chef, where's the cheese? You never put cheese on fish." And Giuseppe Musto, who agreed to prepare this dish tonight, I asked him, I said, "Joe, are you going to put little cheese?" You never put, so that's an Italian thing. Fish is delicate, you don't need cheese.
Yeah, I know, but the customer's paying and they want cheese, you get cheese.
Right.
That's the bottom line. We're down the north end one day, and my friend insists on cheese, and the lady comes over and he says, "Here," and he gives her a sawbuck, and she says, "My job is worth more than $10. Because if I give you this cheese, that chef will fire me." And the chef was a woman from Naples.
Oh, jeez.
Oh well.
Yeah, and some really top Italian chefs, they will, on a fish, they will only use sea salt because they want that seamless flavor. You will get some bit of an ocean flavor with sea salt, and that just complements the fish that much more.
Oh my God, this looks almost good enough to eat, Joe.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure.
And me and Jonathan went down and got a slice of pizza at the Creek restaurant down the square.
Oh my God.
Now my taste buds are up. If you got a little...
Sure.
We'll get a little...
Yeah.
So we usually have a towel right in my back pocket, so
Right.
we always do this.
Yeah.
And then we'll sprinkle a little parsley or basil. Actually, I had some basil. I don't know what happened with it.
Okay.
Did you steal it?
No, I think one of your guests ate it.
Okay, all right, whatever.
Okay.
So this is it.
That's great.
That's a shrimp Siciliano.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people that I talk to about the brick house, and I'll say, "Have you been there?" "Oh my God, you go there, you can't finish what's on the plate." So you get a great meal there, that's for sure. And you get a great personality with you, Vinny, all kidding aside.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Well, my daughter asked me to say
right.
that. You were a little down the past week, and so I'm just trying to cheer you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brick house is a small place, and we are busy every night. So about 2 weeks ago, 6 guys come down from the north end that I know at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. You got a table for us, Vinny? No. In like an hour and a half wait. Vinny, it's me, Louie. Louie, it's me, Vinny. I can't, where am I going to see you? Right. There's a bench out front. Yeah. That's where they sat. That's where they got their food. Who comes out on a Saturday night without making a reservation? Only guys from the north end.
Right. Well, Vinny, this is a great dish.
Yeah,
I've
it is.
actually had this. And, you know, I didn't mention this, but I think I have a minute or so. The very first show we did 2.5 years ago, Vinny was the chef for our first show. And this is your 4th time, I believe, on the show. And we always have a great time with him, and his food is exceptional. So thank you, Chef.
Yeah.
Thank you for having my daughter keep you in line
Is
and
your daughter
getting
coming
you
to work
here.
tomorrow, I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to check that out. Okay. Well, thank you. This has been another show from the Chef's Table series. If you want to rewatch this show and actually get the restaurant, you want to cook with the chef, get your laptop, go on the website, which is the chefstableseries.tv. You'll have your recipe. You can watch the chef, follow his tips, and we hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for watching.
Good job, Joe.
Thanks, Vinny. Great job.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the craft beer segment of the Chef's Table series. My name is Carol O'Connor. I am here with Kelsey Roth. He is a certified Cicerone and brand manager of Craft Beer Cellar. So I asked Kelsey to choose a beer that will go with Vinny Marino of the Brickhouse Cafe. He really came up with this dish called Shrimp Siciliano. So Kelsey, what type of beer did you choose?
So when we're doing beer pairings, we really like to look at kind of flavor profiles in the food, intensity in the food, and then see if we can complement or contrast that in some way. So what I was looking at on that dish that really kind of stuck out for me was the mushrooms, the pimentos in there. And then I think there was like a little bit of hot sauce and Worcestershire sauce as well.
And some broccoli.
Yeah, some broccoli.
He's into like vegetables, healthy eating. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm getting some earthy flavors there, and a little bit of spice. And so I went with the Two Roads, so the Two Roads Brewing Company out of Stratford, Connecticut. And this is their Rye 95. This is a Belgian style triple. So it's kind of like an abbey style, like the monks would brew in Belgium. But they do a little American twist on it and use rye malt, or malted rye in it, which is going to give a little hint of spice and kind of like a rye bread, if you think of it that way.
Yeah.
And then they use American hops, which have a very citrusy character to it. So the white wine sauce in this with the with those earthy flavors is going to be really, really nice.
Oh.
So let's try a sip here.
And I like the label when I was looking at it.
They do a fantastic job with all of their labels.
I know, these labels on these beers are excellent. Excellent.
It's artwork.
It is art. Oh, this nice color. Not that people really care about the color, they care about the taste.
Exactly.
Ooh, what am I smelling?
So,
Is that the hops?
yep, a little bit of hops. Also, the Belgian yeast in there is going to give a little hint of like some banana and some pepper, some little bit of spice.
Yes, I do.
And I think you smell the rye too.
I definitely smell the banana when it's like a quick whiff.
Yeah, you really get the little hint of that spiciness on the very end. A lot of complexity in this beer.
Yes.
A lot of different things going on, but I think that's going to just work really nicely with the shrimp.
Exactly.
And
Definitely.
with the pimentos and the mushrooms and the white wine sauce.
Right, and the other flavors. Kelsey, you did it again. You chose a great one.
Thank you.
Thank you. So everyone, this has been the craft beer pairing for Brickhouse Cafe's Shrimp Siciliano, and I'm Carol O'Connor.
And I'm Kelsey Roth with Craft Beer Cellar. We're a proud supporter of the Chef's Table Foundation.
Welcome to the coffee segment on the Chef's Table series. My name is Carol O'Connor, co-host, and I am here at Rick Rio in West Roxbury, and we're going to talk about roasting. So I'm here with owners Hector and Miriam Morales, husband and wife team here, and they're going to tell us about this big machine, how to make coffee roasted. So Hector, tell me about this machine. It's amazing.
Yes, this is my new toy here in West
That's a
Roxbury.
good word, toy.
And this is very important in how you roast coffee, just to get the proper flavor at the end result. So it's an IR12 machine, and the first stage is the green beans.
Oh, they set out green?
Oh yes, they come from our farm in Jinotega, Nicaragua, in these burlap bags, protected by grain straw bags inside. And it's about 150 pounds, 69 kilos of green beans. And there it looks like this. So I usually, the machine goes for 25 pounds a batch. I usually do a little less than that. And I pour the green beans on top. Then I let it go here, and it goes to the drum.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the oven, the drum, and it's infrared light.
So it's cooking it.
It's
right?
cooking it right here, yes, for about, let's say, it's usually less than 20 minutes, depending on the roast that you want. And then I have to control everything, also all the temperature and the air pressure, and the different intervals, the gas, and all that for the different.
To go into roasting.
It is.
Yummy, delicious coffee we love
It
to
is.
have.
Now, every time I roast, I have to focus on the roasting here. And then at the proper time, when it reaches a certain temperature, the one that you want, you let it go. And then it goes to the cooling beam down here for about 2 or 3 minutes, cooling off. It comes out at a very high temperature. It's about 400 degrees. And meanwhile, you can always check it out here. You can take out some of the beans and check out the color and how it's going.
It must smell so nice in here when they're roasted.
It does, yes.
Oh,
yes. And it hits the place a little bit, although when it's roasted, you can touch the machine. It's not like burning hot, but it gets hot. But the smell, it's delicious.
I think that's so amazing. It goes from green, cooks, and then it comes down into these beautiful roasted beans.
Oh yes. And then from here, it goes to the grinder and then brewing, and then you get your cup of coffee.
That's right, all the different blends that people can have.
Right.
Perfect,
Right.
excellent. Very educational. I think a lot of people, even Joe was saying, people just, they go to the store, they buy it, or they don't realize the process.
Yes.
And especially and this is your family's, the beans, right here.
Yeah, and I think to add something that makes it special, it's small batch. So you can really make sure that product is unique. It's not made in a manufacturing facility, but he's making sure that the right color, that the roast matches exactly. So there's consistency in roast. You're not gonna come and one day it's bitter, one day it's not bitter. It's always, I think, special because it's made just for under 20 pounds.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a beautiful machine.
It is, and it's customized actually for our store. It's that's why it's red. You can ask for different colors.
I love it. It's very industrial looking. It goes well with the brick in here and the excellent way you decorated. I love it. It's so warm, comforting. So everyone, this has been the coffee segment on the Chef's Table series. I'm here with owners Hector and Miriam Morales, a Recreo Coffee and Roastery in West Roxbury. See you next time.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Carol O'Connor and welcome to our new segment, Farm to Table. I am here with Steve Verrill. He's the partner here of Verrill Farms in Concord. So today we're going to talk about lettuce. So Steve, thanks for being on the segment here with me today. Tell us what we're going to learn about lettuce, because you have all different types I see.
Well, we do a lot of things. Actually, it's great this time of year because we have the nice fresh tender lettuce that's grown in this area. You can get it maybe out of your home garden or out at your nearest farm stand or farmer's market. But the varieties are usually more of the leaf and bib type here. And we'll get into that more in a minute, but I'd like to talk a little about how we grow our lettuce. We start all of our lettuce in plug trays. You pass me a tray here?
Oh, I see.
These are the plug trays we use to start each seedling. We fill these with a potting soil, 128 plugs in a tray. We put one seed in each plug and start it, and we grow the plants in this for about 3.5 to 4 weeks, and then we'll put them out in the field in another about 3 weeks, so 6 or 7 weeks from the seed till they're in a nice plug like this.
Oh, I see.
All ready to go out in the field. And they're very nicely rooted, and we can pull this out of the tray quite easily, and we have a mechanical planter that people ride by hand. We just drop that in, it goes down, they get planted exactly 12 inches apart. We put 3 rows in the bed, the rows are 20 inches apart, and by doing it this way we can put an established plant in a weed-free bed, so we don't have to sort through the little weeds to find the little lettuce plants like you might in your home garden at home.
Right.
Because we have this all started, and then it's easy to cultivate it.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that little thing becomes like these big bushels.
It's only 3 or 4 weeks away.
Wow.
There are a lot of local varieties of leaf and bib type lettuces that are grown locally more. Iceberg actually doesn't do very well in the heat we have here in the summer. But the leaf lettuces do better. You do have to be careful, though. I didn't mention when we're doing the seeding, the seeds don't germinate well at the temperature of the soil is over 75 degrees. So in those cases, we'll put it up in the barn cellar, or occasionally we even put the trays in the refrigerator before we start to get it cooled down. Then after they sprout in 2 days or so, it's fine to take the sun and the heat then. But,
Perfect.
Boston is probably the most common lettuce people think about around here, and this is a very nice head of a Boston lettuce. You also can have a red Boston. It'd be this one.
Oh, I didn't know there was such a thing as red Boston.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're both very tender and nice eating.
Right.
Then some of the others. This is a red summer crisp. And this is very tasty, but it's a little thicker, a little heavier leaf than the Bostons are. And then you can go on to a green summer crisp, the same thing. It's a little thicker leaf, but they all are very tender still. And then if you want to add a little different texture, some of the other leaves are a little crinkly, and these are just half a dozen of many varieties to choose from.
I didn't know there was that many.
Yeah, and if you pick it out of your garden or get it home from the market, and you're not going to eat it today, you might want to rinse it in water, dunk it a little bit, and then either shake it out or take it apart. Actually, it's best if you break it open, I think, separate the leaves, and either put it in a spinner or shake them dry, and put them in a plastic bag with or a towel, wrap them in a dish towel, works fine. Or a paper towel in a plastic bag, something to keep the humidity as near 100% as possible, but not having the leaves in touching standing water. They'll turn color then and spoil. And the temperature is near freezing as you can.
Oh, how long would that last in the refrigerator with the paper towel in the plastic bag? How long? Like a day or two?
Well, until you're going to eat them, but yeah. But
you should eat it within 3 days?
Yeah, if you probably, depending on the lettuce and how fresh it was when you got it, but you could probably go 3 or 4 days that way without any trouble.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is great. I like how, because this would be such a great salad. You have all different types of lettuce and, you know, then the fixings.
Well, they just break apart and some nice leaves.
Can I eat it? Oh my God. Too bad Joe doesn't like lettuce. Kidding.
And these are still, these are nice and sweet. As the plant matures more, it gets bitter a little bit.
These are good.
Excuse me, my mouthful. But another thing in the home garden, it's a little different. People might seed the plants thicker in the home garden, and when it comes up thick and small, you could thin it out and get some microgreens or mesclun mix out of it with the smaller ones, and then as they get bigger, just leave one every foot or so. And then on that in the home garden, you could start picking the outside leaves off first and eat them, and some more it'll grow a little more.
That's a good
But
idea.
if you go too long on that, it will get bitter. So
Yes.
you still have to do some more planting. So don't try to stick to one.
Just keep going. Oh, wow. Steve, this was so interesting. I think it's great how it starts out a little seed
Yeah.
in these, what do you call them again? The black...
The plugs.
The
plug
plugs,
trays,
and
yeah.
they burst into a big, bushel of lettuce. Great.
Well, it's so amazing because when you look at a seed, it's not very big.
Right.
And
Sure.
the genes will do all these different things depending on what's in the seed. And it's always been amazing to me. You can take a pot of soil, and the same soil you can either grow a nice sweet strawberry or you can grow a hot pepper in it. It's
Wow.
all just a little programming that's in the seeds to start with.
That's so interesting. It's like there's a science when it comes to planting.
Well,
Kind of.
plant breeding is, of course, that's been going on for
Many-
centuries.
right.
Yeah, yeah. And it's getting a little more sophisticated now and a little debatable if you go to the extent of GMOs. That's a whole other subject we won't get into
Yeah,
here.
we can talk about that next time. So much to learn here. So Steve, thank you so much for talking to us about the lettuce.
you're
I
welcome.
can't wait to have the salad with it. Okay. So we'll see you the next time.
Enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Steve Verrill of Verrill Farm in Concord on behalf of the Chef's Table Foundation.
Hi folks, Steve LeCount, chef owner of Chiara Bistro in Westwood, coming at you with this week's Chef's Tip. This week I just want to talk about an easy way to get pomegranate seeds out of the pomegranate. I remember when we were kids and we used to call these Chinese apples, and we used to quarter them like that, and then we sat around the table, and I think maybe my parents did it on purpose to keep us out of trouble and keep us occupied for a while. And we would just take teaspoons and try to pick out through all this membrane that's completely throughout a pomegranate. I love pomegranates, great winter use. You'll see them around all the time. They make beautiful holiday decorations, but they are naturally loaded with antioxidants. It's one of the healthiest fruits you can eat. But they have a nice tartness to them and a nice crunch to them too. And I like to contrast in things like salads with goat cheese, where you have a soft goat cheese. You have a nice contrast to that with the crunch from and the tartness of the pomegranate. We also tend to use it a lot on duck dishes or chicken dishes with maybe a sweet glaze, something with like honey and molasses or maple. You've got all that sugar going on that, so you want something tart to slice through that and balance out that dish. So pomegranate seeds seem to be perfect for that. But anyway, back to the original point. How do I get all those seeds out of there without spending half my life doing so? I just cut it in half horizontally. Put your hand over a bowl, and just like the kid you wanted to keep occupied for hours getting those seeds out, give it a good spanking with a heavy kitchen spoon. And you'll see mostly just seeds come out of there. And to get the rest, just keep banging on it with that spoon, and they will come out like that, and you'll have a bowl full of these before you know it. Steve LeCount, chef owner of Chiara Bistro, and that's this week's Chef's Tip.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the restaurant interview of the Chef's Table Series cooking show. Today I am at the Brickhouse Cafe located at 107 Bridge Street in Dedham. I am here with chef owner Vinny Marino, and we're going to talk about the transformation of his restaurant, talk about his signature dishes. He's not only into food, but he's also into healthy food and staying fit. So Vinny, thanks for being on the segment with me today.
You're welcome.
So I've noticed, as you know, you've been here for how many years now, the Brickhouse Cafe?
As the Brickhouse, it's
Yep.
been 7 years.
Yep. And it's changed a lot. You kind of added on to it, I
Right,
see.
yeah. We added on from the bar over to here. This used to, a year ago, this was a garden.
Right, I remember that. Now, why did you expand?
Well,
What was the
the
need?
reason I expanded is because you couldn't get in. I have people would come all the time, and they couldn't get in. They were friends of mine, and I just felt I had to do something about it. I have this friend from the Erie pub. Every Friday night he would come in, open the door, look in and say, bye-bye, bye-bye. He couldn't get in. So then we went and we did the expansion, and then after we do the expansion, I called him, I said, we got an expansion, come on over. He comes in, opens the door, bye-bye. I can't get in. So now I save him a table.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think why are you so popular? Like, what is it about the Brick House Cafe?
I really don't know the answer. I had a place in Rosendale years ago called the Rosendale Pub, and the other bars from the area used to come over there to see what I was doing on a Friday night. You'd come in there and they'd say, what are you doing? And I say, damned if I know. I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you, we're passionate about our food. There's a lot of people are, but I got to tell you, I drink it, think it. I don't sleep at night.
I know
I
you-
do recipes constantly. Whenever I travel, I see something and I can tweak it and I come up with it.
Yeah. Where do many of your recipes come from? I know
Well,
they come from you, but
No, the most and the bulk of them are from my mother.
Yeah.
My mother was a very good cook, but very simple, Sicilian, red tomato sauce, and very, very simple. And all of her recipes are very easy,
Right.
very simple, but good, fresh, quality food.
and Vinny, I know you're into your health, like
Yeah.
I am. We both work
Right.
out. You're into boxing, and you were a former boxer,
Right.
Right. And you still keep that up?
Well, actually, I just got in the ring about 3 or 4 weeks ago
You did?
with a friend of mine, and I got to tell you, I don't really think it's a wise move for 77-year-old guys to make comebacks. But in this particular instance, I got a little lucky. I caught
Yeah?
him with a real hard left hook in the second round, and goodbye.
So what is your fitness regimen?
Well, my thing is that as I'm older, I exercise more frequently, but less. I do 45 minutes of calisthenics and stretches in the morning. I do a mile during the day.
Yeah.
I swim a half an hour every afternoon.
Wow.
I come in here at night and then I walk another mile. And when I go home, I will punch the heavy bag and lift weights every other day. I lift the weights, but I punch
Yeah.
the heavy bag every night. So I got my little Fitbit.
Yeah, you were
and
telling me about that.
Yeah, and I do my 10,000 plus every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, because you're fit, does that reflect on your menu?
Oh yeah, because I'm a health nut. I started a fast food, health food restaurant chain in the middle 70s, when it was way before the curve.
Yep.
And in 5 years, we were in Dallas, Houston, Austin, Lauderdale, Delray. We had 24 stores
Oh my
in the
goodness.
mid-70s, way before the curve. So I still keep up with it. Even on my menu, I have some dishes that have a heart on it, and it'll tell you the calories
Yep.
and how good they are. And it's one of the first things that I do. How can I make it, every dish
Yep.
that I make, healthier?
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a lot of multi-grain pastas.
I do.
Right. And now tell me about the dish in front of us. You said this is a new one?
Yeah, well, this is
Special?
the one. It's called a stack of Sicily.
A stack of Sicily.
On the menu, we just say, don't be embarrassed, just ask. But what it is eggplant, tomato, buffalo mozzarella, layered with some basil on top, and a little balsamic vinegar. It's a very aged, as you can see how thick it is.
Right.
A balsamic vinegar, it's like almost sweet.
Yeah.
But it's delicious.
It looks
it's
it.
good. Yeah.
Can't wait to eat it. As you know, I'm a vegetarian, so
I do. That's why I
definitely-
got it for you. because
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Vinny, you were saying how you don't know why people come here, repeat customers. Do you think it's because of your food, but also you're always here every night, correct?
Well, I'm here every night. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both. You know, I love to walk around and talk to people.
Right, you do.
And I make it a point to try to talk to everybody. And I have the nicest customers, the nicest clientele. You know, over the years, as you know, I've had many restaurants, and this is my 40th restaurant.
40th?
Yeah, 40th. My last
That's
one,
amazing. Your
small
last one?
last one. But I got to tell you, in all honesty, I don't know, maybe it's my memory or what, but it's the best one.
Oh.
It's the people that I got here are just the best. You could go to any table, any night, and talk to anybody. They're just nice people. They are. And my biggest clientele, believe it or not, is West Roxbury.
Oh, really?
West Roxbury, yeah.
Right, well, you're right close by.
Yeah, and then coming down from Westwood, and naturally we have a Dedham following,
Yeah.
you know, but huge West Roxbury clientele, yeah.
Now, not only have you expanded the restaurant and the menu, but you're also offering breakfast now.
We do, and you know, when we first started, we were open at 11 o'clock, and everyone kept saying, you gotta open early, you gotta open earlier, but it was tough because I was stretched with my health.
Right.
And I was limited. So finally I got a hold of a good little cook. His name is Patrick. He's in the kitchen. He's a breakfast guy. And he agreed, yeah, okay, I can do it. You know, so he comes in at 7 o'clock, and we opened up at 8 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. And you know, we would do like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 people from 8 in the morning to 5 at night, and it just keeps, every week it's better and better and better. And last week we met our goal on what I figured we could do.
Yes.
And now I'm saying, you know what, I got a new goal because we did that so easy.
Yeah.
We can even do more.
Right.
You know. But one of the things that I think in the restaurant business, one of the key things to be successful is having good food at affordable prices.
Exactly.
You know, and no one leaves here hungry.
Right.
No one leaves here hungry. They all may take doggy bags, but no one leaves hungry.
Right. Well, I think that's why your breakfast is growing. I think there's a need in this area for great breakfast places. And Vinny, I mean, this place is so warm and inviting. And I really think, I mean, I know myself, people come for you too.
Yeah.
They enjoy, like, you when you're in the restaurant, you come by and say hello to them. Because I'm sure, like, not only do you see your old friends and repeat customers, but you also meet new friends as well.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a day or a week that goes by that I don't meet someone new.
Yeah.
You know, and we hit it off because, you know, one thing about Boston or New England, having lived in Florida for many years, is that if you don't know someone, you're going to know someone who knows someone who knows someone.
Yeah, it's small.
And us, and that we find that.
Right.
We start talking, and believe it or not, almost every conversation ends with, what a small world this is. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all connected in interesting ways. Yeah,
we really are.
Definitely. Well, Vinny, thanks for letting me interview you. Every time I speak to you, I learn something new about you and the restaurant and the menu, and I can't wait to dive into this.
Oh, I'm sure you.
And I'm sure Joe wants to
Yeah.
take the majority of it. Sorry, Joseph.
Okay. That works.
Yeah. So everyone, thanks for watching. My name is Carol O'Connor, and this has been the restaurant interview of the Chef's Table Series cooking show.
A very citrusy character to it. So the white wine sauciness with the
Add on to it, I see.
Yeah, we added on from the bar over here. This used to, a year ago, this was a garden.
Right, I remember that.